What up, challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just watched episode 6, Alien, or Alien, as Emmy sings in her song.
I just got that tune out of my head. Don't do that, but all right.
I'm an alien.
Yeah.
Is she an alien, do you think, maybe?
Yeah, I've called her a lot of things. Not an alien, though. Not an alien. So there's a new one.
She says it multiple times.
Yes.
So, I mean,
now I know.
We thought Post Malone. Nope.
Nah.
We got our answer.
That's right.
Big episode. I mean, yes, it is titled Alien. I feel like it should be called Fireworks because we saw the start of our fireworks tonight at the end.
Well, do we have to give a shout out to MTV for listening to our podcast?
Oh my gosh, right?
For realizing when we said, I think 90 minutes is a little bit too much, and guess what? They cut it down.
They did.
And I was worried. They had me for a little bit. I know we're going to get to it, but I'm going to bring it out. The whole Nany and Kaycee thing, I was like, this is filler. This is a filler.
Right.
But instead, they just make it a filler to make a cliffhanger. So, hey, it's just an hour, not 90 minutes. I'll take it.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, got a lot to talk about. Let's get started.
Absolutely. Let's start going in because there's all kinds of things from
so
different
many
angles.
different things and different conversations with different people throughout the whole episode. So it kind of builds up, which is exciting. Like my heart's kind of pumping still. Like I'm excited. I wish that there was more this week. And that hasn't happened in a couple episodes.
But that's the beauty of the hour episode, to give a cliffhanger, to be like, so next Wednesday. I mean, because now, they have to stop all those commercials for do not miss the VMAs. Now it's got to be do not miss next week's episode of the challenge. So you had to fill it in somehow. Or Alabama Shore, or whatever else.
Floribama Shore. And then we got to find out if Vinny's ever going to find love, for the love of God.
Yeah.
They
so
just keep turning those out.
Yeah.
Okay, so starts following the elimination win of, why do I always forget the one from last week? It's like it just from my brain. Oh, yeah, Logan won.
Yeah.
So Logan is now with Nany, and Emmy is now with Huey.
Yeah.
So, starts in, them walking in, and then we see Huey talking with Big T. Huey is concerned because he's in a rookie team with Emmy right now. He knows they're not a good pair. Seems the two of them both seem to have problems finding partners that work for them.
Yeah. This is Huey's confessionals here and there are kind of goofy during this whole thing because at this point he's like, I don't understand why, the rookies were going to go in, but later on he'll just like come to accept it. So you're a rookie. I don't get it. So
absolutely. He did not cry. No fear this episode. No fear. I was, he's getting a little tougher, getting a little stronger, I think, maybe. I don't know. So then we have CT talking with Emmy. He's given her this, he's kind of her cheerleader. She is, an outcast, he says, as they're having this conversation and he's cheering her on, he's getting dressed, he's in his underwear. And then later you see him like pulling on his pants and putting on his belt, like, apparently that's, we're just.
He has no problem being in his underwear talking to her. And
she doesn't either.
Apparently she has no problem hanging out with her uncle. Her only uncle, her favorite uncle.
Her favorite uncle.
Naked, just folding jeans and boxers. She's like, this is my uncle. I look up to him and, it's that, and I feel warmth and comfort being around him. And especially when he's half naked sitting next to me. So.
Right. Well, and, the conversation, we only saw like a minute of it, but it seemed, judging by his various stage of dress, that it went on for a while. Yeah. So she's just chilling with him, having this conversation, for a while. And of course she's enjoying it because he's, encouraging her and, saying that, she's young in the head, which I think is a very good way of putting it with her. But, she could control that, her fire, she'd be unstoppable. People keep saying this about her. Maybe I'm underrating her, but and she seems to be very well liked. I'm not quite there yet.
I believe there's probably a couple other people in the room, but really the conversation between them, I think they're kind of encouraging it, and they're on CT sides. And I think what Emmy's doing is she's like basking in that they're building her up. I think that's a false thing. I think the fire really is the emotions, and we're surprisingly, like a lot in this episode, even with Huey, she doesn't like lose her mind and cry over that stuff. But I don't see it either, so I don't think you're misinterpreting anything. I think it's just to be like, You got this, kiddo.
I know.
Thanks,
because
Uncle
I mean,
CT.
because we don't know how old she is, but obviously he's most likely one of the oldest, if not the oldest on the show at this time. So he's the uncle. I did look over at you during this conversation because I thought it was foreshadowing that maybe she was going to win and pick CT as a partner. And I looked at you and I said, if she wins and picks him as a partner, I'm going to riot.
Yep, and I co-signed that.
That is,
it would have been doomed for him. Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't happen. It doesn't. We don't get to the elimination tonight, or even a deliberation.
Oh my goodness! Yes, we didn't even. We didn't give the deliberation tonight. Oh goodness gracious!
We don't know where that's going, but fingers crossed that if she goes in, if she were to win, that she does not pick CT.
Okay.
I don't want that.
Did they not show deliberation? Did they go into deliberation? And I know I'm jumping forward.
They didn't.
I know they didn't show it, but in actual time, did they do deliberation and then go out to the club? And I know I'm jumping forward, but think about that. When Kaycee talks to Emmanuel, she said, "Let's hear the people that are going in, who they'd like to see."
Right.
And then Emmanuel's like, "Well, it's going to be Huey and Emmy."
Well, and let me go back to my
right after the challenge,
right?
And I think I'm assuming that the deliberation happened. They just didn't happen to show it editing wise.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because going back to my notes from remember when Johnny went through it, usually challenge and nominations are in the same day.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe that did happen. They just kind of put this out of order.
Maybe they just decided that since it's an hour, we don't need to show it.
True.
Either, and I just don't. That leaves so many more questions for next episode. So we'll wait till the end of the episode. So I apologize for jumping forward, but that had
I feel
to be
like
said.
we're going to bounce around a lot tonight because there's just a lot going on.
And thanks to MTV for letting us do that, I guess, because they did the same thing tonight. Yeah.
Versus some of those episodes like Truth or Dare where it was like the paint drying that we're going through. Okay, so Josh is talking to Esther. He's talking smack on Fessy. Come to find out, Josh kind of likes Esther.
Esther.
No, I'm starting to say Essie. I'm just, shorthand. They have a great conversation. Obviously Josh is still heated about what happened in regards to him putting Amber in, which it is getting old. But I don't know. That's obviously foreshadowing for later. Then Fessy and Amanda are together now. Like they're full on together on the show. We're seeing that in this episode. They're cuddling. They're in bed. They're all together.
Which they haven't really showed that since episode 1. So this has been like completely glossed over. This thing.
And they just went on vacation together.
Oh, Instagram, huh?
And the Twitter. They went on vacation together somewhere, I don't know, tropical. He's picking her up on the beach and holding her, and they're kissing, and they're doing a shot together. And he says, "I'm not a player. I just crush a lot." And she's like, "No, not anymore."
Oh, God.
And I don't know. They're all in love and stuff.
I just love so much the moms that are like, "I'm doing this for my kid. That's the only reason why I'm leaving him for this thing to win $750,000 or $500 or $1 million." I love moms that do that and then immediately go on vacation afterwards. So they're my favorite moms of all.
Maybe her mom is there too, kind of watching the kid, and then they're doing like nanny. I don't know. That's probably
so the
not
Twitter
what's
didn't. There's no pictures of her holding the baby and being like, "It's one big happy family." No, okay.
No,
So
yeah,
she's
okay.
probably,
I'm trying.
She's probably back in the States somewhere.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
But anyway, so they're together. And Amanda actually has a very reasonable response. She's like, I feel like you need to apologize to Josh. Like let's just end it. And Fessy's frustrated, and she's like, maybe you are wrong. And maybe he does feel, his feelings are hurt, and he feels like you don't listen to him, which I thought that was a brilliant point.
Yeah,
it's very obvious.
If we're always going to point out vets and rookies, how about vets acting emotionally like rookies? And that is the craziest thing here because you'll see it later. We'll talk about it. But again, we're jumping around. Same thing. Maybe you should apologize, Amber. Maybe I should. Josh, maybe you should. Maybe I should. Everyone's like, maybe I should. And there are people like that are actually looking out for their game. Like it's only going to benefit you more if you don't look like you're being a baby or blindside someone or you just don't let things go. And like, maybe I should. And it's truly people that are guiding them to like, just go talk to him.
Right.
And they're like,
squash it. Come on, let's move on.
I could, but they didn't.
Wanna.
And that's what I'm saying. It's emotionally like being a rookie.
Yeah,
So.
I got you. Well, and like these are people that have been friends for a really long time. So like, in regards to Josh and Fessy, maybe not Amber, but it's just like, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Then we have Nany and Kaycee's first date.
Oh, this is so bad.
Yeah. Your reaction was.
This was so bad.
Like, I thought it was cute. I mean, you know, the flowers and they're all dressed nice and they go out to the gazebo and there's, you know, candles out and chocolate covered strawberries and champagne. You know, Nany's all, did you do this? Which in my mind, I kind of think it's like The Bachelor. And it's like, okay, no, she did not do this. Like production did this.
Yeah, she had to go to production and be like, what do you do? It's not. So Kaycee's sitting around the kitchen with strawberries and chocolate, melting chocolate. And
nobody
like,
knows.
What are you doing? She's like, nothing. Why don't you mind your own business? And like, what, does Josh come in and Fessy be like, hey, back up. And she just wants like, I didn't. It's like, where did I just had this bottle of non-alcoholic pink rosé, whatever they were drinking. It didn't look right. And
yeah,
so,
it was like pink or
red.
And
so like Nany, are you trying to tell me that Nany at any point when she is finding rose petals seems like 25, 30 yards during this time that Nany wasn't like, where's Kaycee at? Like all these things were production.
Well, it's true. It's like, was she just like in her room for like all that time?
And everyone's just like, no, don't go out there. And are you kidding me? Nany would be like, why can't I go see Kaycee? Like, come on, production did it. But again, it's the thought that counts. She said, hey, production, can you do this for me? Production said, of course, this is going to be great TV. No, it wasn't.
It was cute. Was it great TV? No, but it was cute.
No.
And,
that's where I really thought the filler was going to be. That I'm like, we're definitely getting an hour and a half because they have to show this nonsense. And I'd feel the exact same way if it was Jordan first time asking out Tori or Corey who was macking on somebody else or whatever else. Like, I guess the only one I was fine with was Jordan proposing to her.
Oh my God,
Tori.
I cried.
That one was great. I didn't cry, but
of course not.
Yeah, but this is just like, and then she lays on during this time like the cheesy lines that actually Josh will say later on to Esther, and that's when I even said like, I just can't. When she's like,
what did she say?
You deserve to be loved. You deserve someone to treat you well. And now he's like, I do. I so do, Kaycee. And she's like, this is why I love Kaycee. And I was like, you don't love her, Nany. You don't love her. Everyone says the same thing. She's like brick in the thing. I love lamp. Are you just naming things right now? Like, Nany, you fell in love. You fall in love with so much stuff. Like, and she's those lines. And then she's sitting there and she's like, you know, Kaycee's like, oh, Josh does this. And Nany, Josh, you're supposed to like take care of Josh. You're supposed to be like the one that's supposed to make sure corral him in when he goes crazy. And she's just like, just keep holding my hand, and you can talk all you want about Josh because I'm not going to defend him because you're holding my hand and you did all this stuff. And who knew? I never knew. And it was so nice that everybody in the house knew.
Everybody
about this,
knew. Everybody
but they
knew.
didn't let me know.
Didn't tell me.
They're all in on it, and they just want to see me happy. No, Nany, they know you're going to be preoccupied because you're never going to win this game because you're always preoccupied in something else besides winning the challenge. Sorry. Rant over.
So
was it nice though? Did I ruin it?
So okay. Yes. Now
I feel terrible.
No, I was just thinking like I was gonna say something. We were just talking about one of your favorites, and I was just gonna mention one of your other favorites in regards to that situation. And I'm like, am I gonna get him really, really fired up? So you know, they're all out on the balcony watching them walk down, and you know, Ashley says, you know, don't worry, I'm gonna make sure everyone goes inside so you guys can have fun. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, and I could have scripted her confessional after that. It's great. I'm lonely. 100 times I knew she was going to be next in that one-on-one to be like, it's so sweet. I'm so happy for him. I'm lonely. Like, I know you're constantly lonely. Like, what are you talking about?
So then we catch Josh and Esther kissing. Mm-hmm. And okay, before that, they kind of lead us in like the camera's at the floor. And they're like going around corners, and they're playing music that reminds me almost like Ocean's 11 music.
I actually was paying attention to a lot of the music too tonight. Good for you.
It kind of it reminded me of like, okay, we're gonna do this like heist, you know. And then it shoots to Josh and Esther kissing in the bedroom just by themselves, which All right.
And by the way, that's the way a challenge hookup is supposed to go. It's not supposed to be production comes in. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And he's right. There is no place to really hide. I mean, it got a little graphic in there or whatever, what he wanted to talk about. But you're supposed to have those hookups in like bathrooms and corners.
Bathrooms.
The veterans, the true veterans, know the actual angles and where they go from.
Amanda actually said, I think on a live or on someone else's podcast, that there was a lot of like sneaky hooking up this season.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if she gave names, but she said there was a lot more than we saw in regards to people doing just that in bathrooms.
Okay. Good to know.
So I guess we'll probably find out about that maybe after show or the reunion probably.
Well, there's still 13 more episodes.
13 more episodes.
And
that's
then
true.
you have the reunion. Yeah.
And then Esther, they ask her, what do you like about Josh? And she's like, honestly, I don't know.
Great answer. I think it's the most honest answer. I think it's the truthful. I think it's 100%. That's a dartboard bullseye. Yep. I don't know. Yeah.
And I think we've all been there before. You're just like, I don't know, like this shouldn't be right, but whatever.
I don't even know why he's on the show. So I totally agree with that. I was like, yep. All right. Sounds good to me.
All right, so then challenge is activated, and we see some cars, doing some drifting. And the way that the people respond is like kids on Christmas morning. We've got Emmy going, drift, 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 drift. And, people jumping up and down, Tori being like, this is sick. I mean, people were like losing their minds, like excited about this challenge.
I got excited about it too. When you have TJ just yards away from them and these cars are speeding at God knows what amount of miles per hour and he doesn't flinch as they go by him, I was like, what? This is going to be great. I mean, he didn't flinch. It was awesome.
Yeah, that is true.
So, yeah, and they all go crazy, and I did not understand, Emmy, what she was saying. I had to look at you, and I'm like, is she saying whip?
Well, and I only knew it because I watched the preview earlier. Like, they had a little clip on Twitter, and so that I was able to, like, put it together after that.
But they're drift cars. I get it.
Drift cars, right. So, two teams are against each other. They are strapped to the top of the car, one facing one direction, one facing the other direction. Yeah. They go and do all of their donuts, and then they have to look at this board that's got a code. It's called Churning Agents, and then they have to figure out what the symbols are to unlock a box. You and your partner have boxes, and then you detonate a bomb, and that stops the time.
Yeah.
So I made it sound extraordinarily more complicated than it was, I feel like.
I think the description of the whole thing was more. It took me a while to figure it out too. That there was, you would have the numbers on the side of your unlock box. Okay,
right.
You both had the same one, and then you'd have the symbols. But there were 4 different symbols. So you had to find the first 1 or 2, or because Josh said like I'll find 1, you find 2, then we'll do 3 or 4, and then the other ones that do Kaycee and Emmanuel, I'll do the top 2, you do the bottom 2.
Right.
So you had to look at it, the triangle or a circle or @ sign, doesn't matter, whatever it was. And it could have been an alien, I don't know. And they go around and you have to look at it and be like, all right, now I've got it. And you have to communicate. You have to say, I got it, 4, 4, 6, 7, or whatever else. I do have this question. Do you know anybody that works currently for the CIA?
No.
Or an FBI agent or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
These are all agents. Why is everything they have to unlock something and detonate it before they can do anything? So, like, if you knew someone that's in, like, if I knew someone that was in the CIA or FBI, I would feel like, let's say I was a server at a restaurant, I would, like, lock it in a box or food and just be like, now you have to unlock it before it goes cold. Like, why is everything they do?
Everything's with a lockbox.
Everything they do is a code. Like, is that all the CIA does and FBI? I'm confused.
Yeah, that is definitely not what I would expect.
No.
CIA or FBI or these agents, but this is how they portray it.
Everything is that way.
Yeah. So lots of lock boxes, lots of making explosions. This one did look really cool. It was incredibly difficult to figure out who was winning and who was losing. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't really tell who was in the lead or who did it faster. I will go down the list of the groups that went. So starts off with CT and Berna, and then Josh and Ashley. CT, I'm thinking this is going to be another puzzle dub, but Berna's not really talking, and CT says that that's kind of putting up red flags with him. So I think he might be ready for a new partner.
I agree, and it's also, you got to remember going back on things when CT's like, your boy's wicked smart, and I think it was last season when he's like, my dad has done this now with numbers. I thought he was like going to just put her on his back and figure it out, and then turn around and be like, what really happened? But it doesn't even work out for him. So.
Right. And then Josh and Ashley get it, and they have great communication. I think this two is a really good pair. They somehow found each other, and it works.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I don't know. So they win that heat. Then we have Corey and Bettina and Emmanuel and Kaycee. And Corey and Bettina had a cute moment beforehand where Corey's like kind of whispering to the driver, and he's like,
I did like this. Yeah.
He's like, okay, so like when we get over to the sign, like just like hit the e-brake for me and like make sure you get like real close. And then Bettina starts, she starts honking, that we love. So that was really cute. And then, Emmanuel and Kaycee, I wrote down Manny. I want to start calling him Manny. I don't know. We're going to try it out. Yeah. So Manny, had said that he's friends with Emmy and he would like to save her, which makes me nervous. But anyway, so Emmanuel and Kaycee win that heat. The next heat is Amber and Devin and Emmy and Huey. So, Devin says, look, the only rookie pair is who we're against right now. So all we have to do is make sure we beat them, and then we're good. We've done our job. So then Huey and Emmy are, I don't know if I say feel bad for, but it was strange because Emmy was trying to communicate with Huey and she was getting nothing back. And to the point where she was like shaking his leg. Oh, yeah. Like, dude, like what? Do you hear me? If
she could have got out of that harness, she probably would have turned completely done a 180 to yell in his ear like, what's going on? It looked like she was trying that hard.
Right. So, I appreciate that. And she didn't scream and cry afterwards, which was nice. So a little bit of, progressing in a positive way. So Amber and Devin do get that one. Nany and Logan versus Big T and Jeremiah. This is where, we start going fast through the competitors. Nany and Logan win that. Big T says she's dizzy. Fester and then Nelly and Priscilla go. Fester wins. And then the last heat is Ed and Tori and Amanda and Kyle. Amanda and Kyle got the lock off, but then it was broken or but they still managed to win that heat. Okay. So they, go to the commercial break and they say there's 3 teams that were really close, which were Fester and Ashley and Josh and Kaycee and Manny. Kaycee and Manny win.
Yeah.
Which I'll take that over Fester, but it still made me a little nervous because I just am not sure where Casey's head's at as far as who they would put in. And then they go into this conversation when they're back at the house, Kaycee and Manny, and, first of all, they're excited they won. They're like, okay, it's about time. We're good competitors, which I agree. Kaycee gives them advice, says, let's not make any decisions right now, but let's listen tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was, that's where I got confused about the thing. You're right.
It does make me, but, I think they said they thought it was going to be Emmy and Huey. So I don't think that they'd voted yet.
No. I don't think they did either. I think they were automatically assuming. I'm saying the only thing I was saying is that production.
Right.
This episode just kind of glossed over because what's the point? They just said, throw us in, boom. But we will find out, I think, next episode. Either way, it's a very small thing, but it's something that's mentioned multiple times. Like, they know they're going in. Right. So that's all. Because there's little... Maybe it isn't, because when they're at the club, there's little talk of who would you like? Because it's supposed to be. So maybe they decided to
throw in a party and then we'll figure it out.
And tomorrow you guys can deal with the deliberation. So, because usually that's what the nightclub is. It's like, all right, talk to us. Who do you want to see? So, yeah, I maybe I jumped the gun and thought too much into production, what they should have done or what they normally do. So,
yeah, I'm curious. Or maybe they just knew things were boiling and they're like... So, they thinking about playing it safe, and then, is it too soon to rock the boat? And that had me thinking that maybe when they do put somebody in, that maybe they will put in a veteran.
Yeah, and I think it was Tori that said it about Kaycee, that she was like, you never know what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaycee was the one.
She plays it so cool, too.
And
so
Kaycee
it's hard.
was the one. She's like, I don't know if it's time to rock the boat, but it's one of those things, like, she didn't say, like, I don't feel comfortable. It was just kind of like, and I think Tori's right. You don't know. Kaycee could do it and be like, you know what, I see it. She's a winner of Big Brother for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
And by the way, her game was a lot better than Josh's. I know Josh was a winner too, but he got carried to the final, and bitter jury won it for him. But different podcast for different time. But she sees the bigger picture, the steps ahead, and if it's her time, she'll know to take that shot.
Well, and what I find interesting about Kaycee is, you know, she can make a big move and is still extraordinarily likable. Like, she can somehow make it so she doesn't have an enemy so much. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it's very impressive. Because, you know, I look at like a Tori who tries to make a big move and then kind of makes a mistake along the way in regards to like when she put in Tatcha. You know what I mean? Like,
she has a way of defending herself,
or Berna against Tatcha,
in any move, and there's not a lot that she's done, but she has a way of defending herself because she's already built relationships to be like, here's why, and someone goes, now I see it,
right,
without being like without their voices being raised and pointing fingers. She'll just say, like, here's why I did it,
right,
and it had nothing to do with you, and I'm sorry you're upset, but I did it because of these reasons. And everyone walks away usually with her going, oh, okay. Yeah,
right.
I get that.
And I respect that. Yeah, absolutely. So then we got Jeremiah and Big T talking, and they're partners. And Jeremiah's like, look, like, I'm the only rookie that's not gone in. I feel like I'm going to go in, and I'm okay with that. You know, super chill. His responses remind me so much of, like, a football player in an interview. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like,
my time to do this. I need to do this for the team, and I realize that it's time for me to step up.
Right.
And I like the kid.
I do too.
I really do, and I want to see more of him.
Same.
And when you have the edits like that, you're like, oh, I haven't seen him in like 3 or 4 episodes. I want more of this kid because I think he's going to be great.
Yeah, same. Yeah. And then of course Big T as his partner is like, you know, like, look, like, we're not nominating ourselves because that means me too. Like, no.
That was a great one-on-one by her.
Oh, she's so cute. Priscilla and Esther then talking in the gym. Priscilla refers to herself as the silent assassin, which I love.
This was a weird moment for me. All right, they're talking, and it's like almost in a horror film. Like they're at the it could
they're
be
in
a
the small gym.
Yeah, but it's like people are getting clipped off one by one, and sooner or later,
right,
it's going to be one of us. And it was a weird moment because I'm like, it's so true. They're just sitting there like sitting ducks. Like, instead of like, what can we do? It's just like, either you're going in or I'm going in or Bettina's going in because we're the only 3 that haven't seen the lair. So I think it's going to happen because we're rookies. And that's a terrible feeling. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to be on the outside looking in. Even though they go to the club or they do whatever else, or they eat or whatever, it's still a bad feeling. And it just reminded me of like just a horror film, like who's going to be next? But really, it's those 3 just being like, it's one of us 3.
Right.
And they're like, they're stretching together, and it's like they're making eye contact, like it's either you or me or Bettina. But if it's not you, if it's Bettina, then we'll be doing this in a couple days. It's just the 2 of us.
Right.
It was sad.
I know, and I just still wonder why people haven't rallied votes yet. You know what I mean? Outside of like the big monster alliance, why the people on the outside haven't tried to rally some votes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just think it's when you understand the game, and you have to be a fan. They're bringing people on that they say they're fans, but not really.
Right.
They watch some of the episodes, and they're bringing people from other things like Survivor or Big Brother, and it's a different game. But it's so quick to go with the majority that they're just kind of like, well, this is what the rookies do. And we've been watching this so long that it's always like, when rookies like stand up, when someone stands up to a veteran, everyone goes, well, you're a rookie. You got to go in.
Right.
And everyone's just like, yeah, you're a rookie. You got to go in. And they're like, oh, I'm a rookie. I got to go in. And it really doesn't, it hasn't changed. The narrative has not changed in that situation.
True. Then it's, more of our love letter to Emmy. So they're getting ready to the bar party. Mm-hmm. Emmy is thinking she might go in. So Ashley and Amanda and maybe Nany?
I think so. Or was it Amber B?
I don't
know who the third one is of the
definitely
Satan
Ashley
sisters.
and Amanda. Yeah, they called themselves the Satan sisters. They give Emmy a red dress. They want to dress her all nice. They say how great she looks. And then they go down to her like slides and socks, and they're like, not those shoes.
And I'm not gonna lie, she does look a lot better because
for sure
she's not in pajama pants and some hooded sweatshirt, so works for her. Good job. Anything would have worked out.
And the girls are so sweet to her, and I did find that nice, but. They're really, really, really trying to get me on Team Emmy, and I'm just not there.
They really
Everyone really loves her, and I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Maybe there's more that I will find out later. So then she sings her song "Alien." CT gives her a little intro.
Well, that's the thing. She's got the greatest hype man in the show. She's got CT gives her the intro. He also talks to her when he's getting dressed or folding clothes, but he's naked and like, hey, and he gives a one-on-one. He's like, I really like her. She's got a lot of things to offer.
Right. She's growing on me.
Yeah, she has the greatest hype man in the show right now.
Absolutely.
And apparently everyone really, they
were losing their mind. They were super stoked about the song.
Listen, she was doing a cappella. They didn't have it, but they did play the song. Obviously, it's a dance club song, all right?
Right.
And it didn't sound too bad.
Kind of sounded like maybe some retro Gaga, like when Gaga first came out. Kind of
first
that
name
vibe.
I thought of.
Yeah.
That's when it was just repeating over and over, and I was like, it's all I thought.
And you know what? So, I mean, I get that there's more lines than this.
Yeah.
But you know that song from, I think it's Doug, or maybe it's Doug. I don't know. It's like, I'm a dude, you're a dude, he's a dude, we're all dudes.
I don't know that one.
Good Burger.
Good Burger, okay.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm an alien.
Yeah, I just kept having that song, na,
We're
can't get you out of my head, over and over again. But then, you know when I checked out on this song? When Fessy said it's going to be a banger. And that's when I was like, I'm out. I am out. If this guy says it, I am definitely out.
She did post something on her Insta earlier today. And it was her hearing her song for the first time on the radio. And she's like in her car crying. And I mean, that's a sweet moment, I suppose.
Was it in Romania, though, that she heard it? Or was it here in the States?
I didn't check the location.
Okay. All right. Well, make a TikTok dance out of it, and I'm sure it'll blow up. Yeah. So.
Let's see here.
Well,
yeah. So I just wrote Emmy Love Fest -puke. So I think we've continued. We'd finished that. Esther and Josh, they kiss again. Josh is all like, "You like to claim what's yours, don't you?"
Oh my God.
I added the "don't ya."
Yeah.
But then you see CT, and he like looks at the camera, and he's like,
"Yeah." He was like.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was like
perfect. That was really good nonverbal. We need more of that. And yeah, Nelly will give a good nonverbal later on in the show too.
Which one was that?
Slice of pizza.
Oh yeah, with the pizza. yeah.
Right in there.
So Mandy and Amber talking, and I wrote that she's still butthurt over Fessy. Then Fessy's in his interview, and he says, I could apologize, she could apologize, but like. It's broken. Like, she's still going to go for me. I'm still going to go for her, which I actually tend to agree with that.
I do agree with him.
Amber does say to Manny, like, I do want to talk to him, but, like, now is not the time because I want it to be genuine. And I think that she means because they're drinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, not long after that, the time gets even better.
Yeah.
So then we see Berna and Esther talking, and they've got, they're kind of in the corner of the bar, and they're pointing at Amber, and they're like, Amber is so fake. They don't like her. Esther makes an interesting point. She says, people who are nice don't have to tell people that they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
People who are loyal don't have to tell people that they're loyal. And, I've always really liked Amber, even back to the Big Brother days. But, it is true. She does kind of say that often.
Yeah.
And so it did kind of get my wheels turning a little bit. I'm like, is she potentially fake?
I think the rookies were actually nailing this. I think Amber's has buried herself as far as the viewers go. It does remind me, just like you said, people who are nice don't have to remind people they're nice. People loyal don't have to remind people loyal. No matter what happens, there's going to be relationships that happen. Now, I truly don't think Fessy and Amber had a strong relationship, and she knew where she was at on the totem pole for the Big Brother Alliance. She's really not from that group. She was, we're talking 3-4 seasons before they even come in. Maybe they were at conventions together, whatever else. But she wanted to be because she's Big Brother. But in any type of some relationship, if there is a split, one person, and this is just life, I'm telling you right now, in that split, one person is going to scream from the mountaintops how they're right, and the other person is going to be quiet. Oddly enough, I wouldn't expect Fessy to be quiet.
Right.
That person screaming from the mountaintop is usually the one that's just going to do it till their voice runs out, and everyone's like, thank goodness, I'm tired of them talking. And that's what happens here. It is over and over again.
It is.
And then she gets a horrible edit by the producers. Everything is like the camera, and she's just like, how often have you ever seen that when they're at the club, that someone's just like, and like, ugh. You never see that.
I mean, a little bit. Sometimes you see like Corey, like when they're dancing, and Nelly,
yes, but
you know.
This was like drink in hand, like, it was just not the best edit for her.
Yeah, and normally she doesn't seem to be that intoxicated, but maybe this night she was a little more than usual. So they get back from the bar, and this is where we start to see our fireworks. And this is not what I was anticipating, the way that this all went down.
God, I loved it.
It was so good.
It really was. Good job,
But it was
House.
also kind of awful, but it was like good. It was some like old school, like some What Would Bananas Do kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, you know, they're in the kitchen. They're all making all their pizzas. Amber gets a little bit of a tissy because she'd called a pizza and someone was eating it.
Yeah.
So Tori decides to say that Fessy's the one that ate it.
That is a classic bananas move.
And Tori says on camera, she's like, I know he didn't eat it. I just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
You know, and because we all know she's been running her mouth about how she's not over it with him. And that was a blindside.
Yeah.
And, whew. So then you want to walk through what happens with Amber then?
Well, Tori says, it's kind of boring here. I'm just going to do this. And Corey says the same thing. Corey says, it is boring, so I'm just going to mix it up. And he's just like, he ate your pizza. What are you going to do about that? And she comes over and she changes it right away to like, and he's like, I didn't eat the pizza. He's like, and Fessy's like, I was right there. And I said, hey, and you go, cool, I'm right after you. And she knows she's wrong. So she automatically jumps into it. And he's like, wait, this isn't about pizza anymore?
Right.
And she's like, you blindside me. He's like, oh, geez, this again. And
I
he's
appreciate, real quick, sorry to interrupt
you. No, you keep going.
When a very tall person and a small woman are having a conversation and it's heated, I really appreciate when that tall person like kind of sits down.
I agree.
To make it not, because if he were still standing, even if he wasn't reacting, that could come off as aggressive. And so he made the point to take a step back, sit down, and try to kind of disengage.
Yeah.
So I do give him props for that.
I would say he did it twice because originally he was on that footstool and she was getting closer and closer into his proxemics and he got up, moved to the couch. So twice he was like, I'm going to diffuse this situation the best I could. And there's 6 episodes of this now. I'm no stranger. You guys listening are no strangers that I'm not a fan of Fessy. Never have been. So, but for him to do that, you are 100% correct. He did that twice to get out of that. And he was like, come on. I didn't do it. But then she's just like, I'm going to push. And now I'm going to bring it up in front of all these people. And it just keeps going and going.
It keeps going. And then I think Esther gets involved. At that point,
Esther's getting involved, but it really was more.
We got the group of boys like Devin and them playing pool downstairs, and I think Corey was like, "Let's go get Josh."
That's
and
where
I don't know who it was,
but that's where before Esther comes in. So someone's like, "Go get Josh."
And who was like, no, we do not go get Josh. Devin was.
Devin on his one-on-one says, do not get Josh. Do not get anyone. Someone strap him down.
And at this point, I'm standing up. I'm like, go get Josh.
Yeah, of course, yes. Everybody. I love that everybody's doing what bananas are doing. I'm like, I'm happy for all of you that are doing it.
And then as he comes, I mean, Corey goes outside and it's like, he's like going to people. He's like, come on.
Tori too. Tori's knocking people out of the way. She's leading with a hooded sweatshirt. And then Corey's like, yeah, follow her. They just knock like camera people out of the way. Get in there, Josh. And the crazy thing is I will talk about this. He's got something in his hand, a drink, and I was like, uh-oh, that drink's going somewhere. And we're going to talk about that soon because it's not him. That's the craziest thing.
Who was the drink? Oh, that was Esther.
Yes.
Oh,
but
yes.
He had that when he came through. I was like, Josh is not going to have that in his hand very long.
Oh, so Esther got it from
No,
him.
shit, that was her own drink. I'm just saying Josh is very much the type of person that would do that.
I think he has put a drink in someone's face before, which is So sassy.
Yeah. So this is when Josh is kind of on his way back. He hasn't even said anything, but Esther is the one that's going to get involved and tell Amber, you're out of line. You knew you were going in. Stop saying you got blindsided.
And, we saw earlier, she doesn't like her. She thinks she's fake. She's tired of it. Oh, we do see Big T in an interview, and she's like, oh, sorry, I was asleep. But she's still talking about how she's freaking blindsided. Like, enough. So then it starts to get hard for me to remember because it all happened so fast. So Esther puts the water on Amber.
She throws water in her face. Okay? So it's really Esther saying, like, you knew what was going on, and Amber's doing whatever else. But Amber really is not focusing on Esther. So if Esther's over here to my right, we have cameras going on, and Fessy's right there, Amber is still trying to yell at Fessy.
Right.
But Esther's making her point, like, you're wrong. And so she just wants to focus on Fessy over and over. So that's when Esther throws it and hits her kind of to be on the right side of her face.
Wipe her eye.
And immediately they get moved back by security, and there really is no response. I'm sorry. Like,
I think Josh was like, that was screwed up. Like, I think Josh reacted to Esther that was like,
I would care more if Amber was like, what did you just do? Instead, it's like in the confession, like,
that was disrespectful.
Never had that happen. It's so disrespectful. Like, she still is not bothered by it. She still wants to go after Fessy. And then Josh is, listen to me. Josh may hate Fessy, but he knows that Esther, he's calm during this or whatever else because when Esther's around, Esther's close. When she's not in arm's length anymore, because I'm sure they kind of moved her around, then he starts mouthing off with Fessy.
Well, and then you got Corey going, get him, get him.
But I mean, it's not get him. He is like, I'm getting closer to you. He is like, get him right here. And like, he is pointing at Fessy. If I was Fessy, I'd be like, bro.
I know.
Like, get him.
It was
get your
so,
boy.
oh my God, I could not believe it. That was so, oh my gosh. And then you got Nelly. Eating his pizza, equally as close.
Oh, yeah.
Equally as close. Like, Josh could have, with the pizza.
Yeah. He's just sitting there eating pizza. He's, getting as close as can be in the whole thing. It was great.
And then it's getting close. Security's kind of in there, and we're like, okay, here we go. And then, was it Fessy with a hit or a push?
Fessy pushes Josh in the face. But when they're going back and forth, and Josh is saying things like, what Fessy's getting upset about is he's exposing his game. He's like, we're supposed to be boys. We're supposed to do this. We're being alliance. We're supposed to be best friends. I never believed that they were best friends. Trust me. I never did. They may throw that around or whatever else, but I don't believe it.
Well, and Fessy even said it.
Yeah. And so, but he's calling out, he's like, everything you're going to do when this whole thing is done, when the veterans turn each other, you're going down. No one likes your game. You're doing this and that. You're doing that. And he's calling him, he's crossing the line, I would say Josh is, and Fessy's doing the Fessy thing, like CT, like, what have you won? You're 1-9 elimination, and then when Josh is saying, like, you're gonna do this, he's like, oh, everybody, Josh created the challenge, and it's really like dumb Fessy stuff. Like, it's not like smart like Devin stuff, and I hate that I'm bagging on Fessy of this, but it was just. It reminded me so much of what he did to CT to be like, what have you done? How old are you? And it's just like, you're just trying to get underneath their skin with real weak like, attempts.
Something like, when I win, then I'm going to put you in every week and you're going to see how you like it or something like that.
He's like,
and there was something that did push him. It was something about like, I'm gonna beat you. You're gonna lose. Like something stupid.
Yeah.
That was it. That was when he hit the point where he was like, I'm done.
But then security's close enough, and
you got the hype men. You got Nelly and Corey.
Yeah. And Nelly's even saying, he's like, come on, Josh. There's a reason why Fessy is messy.
He's a snake.
He's a snake. We know he is, but let it go. And then. You finally have what we've been waiting for. Fessy reaches over and puts his hand in his face and kind of just gives a shove. And that's going to go to break. Because, we went to commercial. I'm like, we're not going to see the lair. It's just not going to happen. And so, of course, you have to go to
the preview. And the preview, we have TJ coming to the house. TJ saying it's never good when I come to the house.
It's not Mr. TJ. It is Dad TJ coming in.
It's good to me when he comes to
when
the
he
house,
comes walking in. And the best part about it, I hope it's the same way, though. It's not like, I don't know if it's dubbed over, but he's just walking like down the hallway, and it's like the dad coming for the beating. It's not like he's in front of all of them. He just goes, This is all the preview, though. It's never good when I'm in the house, so it's like, and like, oh, crap, Dad's here. Everyone run, because that's the way the preview looked. Now, he could walk in and be like, everyone get in here.
Right.
But it was so good, because I was like, uh-oh, someone's going to get a beating.
Well, and we don't see Fessy in the preview at all. We see Josh outside, I think, crying. So that's going to be episode 7.
And someone says, you got to be kidding me. So whatever he says. And
then the elimination is going to be Hall Brawl.
Yeah.
Which... you know,
what's Huey gonna do in a Hall Brawl?
He has a boxing background.
Okay, that's fair. Again, I'm with you so much on this about the Hall Brawl. Just get rid of it. I just don't need to see it. Like I said, like we said in episode, it might have been episode 0, episode 1 when we did a preview. It really is to draw in those guys that are like,
the big guys.
Yeah, this isn't hard, this challenge, whatever else. And then be like, oh, they're hitting each other. Oh, I could do that too.
Right.
It's just someone always gets hurt.
It
rarely is it that, or someone's doing something dirty, they get stuck in the middle and like, oh,
the hands in the face or the knee in the face.
It's very cringeworthy. So
and I feel like it's getting played out. Like I liked when you would see it every once in a while and it would be a banger. But now, I mean, they did it like 3 or 4 times last season, and I just. Yeah, and I mean, with Kyle with his broken finger and, you know, like all those different things. And it's just, you know, I'm over it. I don't mind the one where they're in the middle and they got to hold the pole.
Sure.
Pole wrestle.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like the one, again, where it's in a circle and they got to kind of shoot it into the hoop, but they got to wrestle each other. I like
it's
that
American
one.
Gladiator thing.
Yeah.
That is. But this is...
I like something where I can see more of agility than obnoxious just strength.
We're just going to run and hit each other. Yeah. Movable force versus the unstoppable object. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. This was a heck of an episode.
It was good.
We don't know who's going into elimination. We can make our assumptions that it's going to be Emmy and Huey, but that's about all we know in regards to that. So we'll see.
And we don't know if someone gets sent home. So it could be just a female elimination. It could be something
Well,
more.
and here's my question. I feel like, okay, it sounds like Fessy's going to go home. Probably.
You feel
maybe.
that way. Yeah.
Esther with the spill in the water. Throwing water in someone's face, and Amber's face. That's like a warning because they're a team though. So that would be a very easy like goodbye to that team. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you know what is real, and then the actual layer is next. Do you know what I'm saying?
After the next challenge.
Yeah, you unopened something there because that would change a lot. You're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, there is no reason for the lair. There's no reason for the deliberation. You got to go, Esther. You knew better, or whatever else. Josh would not have tears over Fessy leaving. He would over Esther because he's kind of a part of this by how much he did. I think you're onto something.
Well, and someone, I forget who it was, but they'd said, I think Priscilla said, one of the new people got closer to so and so after Tasha and Esther went home. They said,
okay.
So that would lead me to
I think you might be right. That makes a lot of sense to be like, you don't put your hands on, and rookies, we're not even going to give you a warning that we can't have this type of thing. And you know, the other people that need talking to are the people that are that are fanning the flames of the fire. He needs to say, TJ needs to be like, come on, guys, you're right in his ear, doing whatever else, like you know.
Well, yeah, granted, it was hilarious. I'm so happy it happened. Yeah. But yeah, you could a little more tact, maybe. Yeah. A little more tact.
I know you're bored. I know you're cooped up. But come on, it'd be better than this.
Maybe not aggressively yelling, "Get him."
Yeah.
To this distance. The pizza, I'm all here for though. Yeah.
Sure.
Eat the pizza. Eat the pretend popcorn.
I really think you're right. I think he's. Yeah. I think, and that's why we didn't see the layer of deliberation because it's just going to go into next week. But that's why we got next week.
Yeah. Who do you think won the episode?
Oh, it's easy. It's Esther.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I adore her.
Yeah, I like her a lot too.
Now, I can't keep track of the different wigs, but I like
the kind of asymmetrical one where it's short and long.
That's one where I sat up and I was like, oh, I'm getting some Chili from TLC vibes here. And I'm a big fan of hers, so I was like, ooh, Esther. And I think she had a great edit the entire time. I think she had a great diary. I think she understands the game. And again, she's Chili Jace. I'm in. I knew it from jump.
Chili Jace.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, all right, she's going to win the episode for me. And I think she really did a good job the entire. Big T was great in one-on-ones too.
Big T was great. Yeah. I just don't really have a big winner.
I think we can talk about. I think Manny,
Ed had some cute moments, but he definitely didn't win.
Started off strong, made me laugh.
Oh, he was part of the egging it on too. Remember when Fessy was standing on something taller, and he was like extra tall, and then little Ed was like in front, and he was like,
yeah. But he
like a kid with their teacher.
He started off strong, made me laugh because he was so happy that Logan came back, and that's good. I think Manny Emmanuel is getting a very good edit.
Yes.
Too. If we're talking about best edit or anything
Absolutely.
like that, I think he's going to be one that they really like, and I thought this episode he shined in this one.
Cringeworthy moment.
What do you have?
Well, I feel like you're going to say it's Kaycee and Nany's day.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to be so obvious, so I was like, I just wanted, if you had one better, I'd be like, yeah, I like that one better than mine.
Necessarily mine. My cringeworthy moment was the way that they all did the reality TV response to the challenge. It was okay. If I saw that, and I'm a very excitable person, I'd be like, yeah, that's really cool. Awesome. Yes. That would have been it. It wouldn't have been all of that. And I get it, it's a TV show.
I'm with you.
Yeah, they're practically like Arsenio Hall, like, ooh.
Well, it was almost like, and you have students that are influenced by TikTok that do the certain dumb things.
Sure.
And God. You can only say sick so many times.
True.
And everyone's like, sick, and teacher's like, very sick. And they're like, so sick. And it's like,
the sickest.
Is it sick, guys? I don't know. All right. Jeez. So it's like one of those things.
Fessy one time said, she, and I was like.
So that one's good.
That was in another episode.
The date was just too much for me. Yeah. It's like, ugh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I hope they get married. I do. And I
think that there's potential
I hope
there.
they make a reality show out of it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. I was like,
come on.
We can do a podcast about that one.
You guys know better by now. Yeah.
Also,
and then I'll take it all back. You guys remember when I said that? I didn't really mean it. I love this show.
Get shirts made.
Yeah.
I'm a Nany. Yeah. I'm a Kaycee.
Like we're sitting on what side we're sitting on or whatever. I was like, ooh. Make sure you send that tweet out that we want invitations to the wedding. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Love it. I that's what I think. I do think Esther won the episode. Not only do I have a crush on her, but I just think that she had the best. Now it's not the best moment, but she stood her ground as a rookie. Right?
Absolutely.
So I think she won the episode.
She's smart, and the water was interesting to me. I didn't think that she was the type. So that was interesting. That definitely.
I'm sure Josh's love for her grew 3 times when he saw that, because he's like, "That's what I would have done. That's my girl."
He's done it.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like, I want that right now.
Mine.
Yeah. So, who lost it?
Yeah, Amber.
It's Amber.
For sure.
I don't think she had a good
toyed with.
I think she had a good edit. I think she spent way too much time talking to other people about it. It's one thing if production can get you to do it, your one-on-ones, and you're like, yeah, I feel like I was blindsided, and you can throw that in there. But to go around, bounce around continually, and it's changing your game so much, it's not. She lost the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you ever have a friend like that? It's like they just keep bringing something up, and it's like,
Sure.
okay, I'm trying to like be your friend and listen, but like after like the 5th time, it's like, okay, like this isn't productive anymore. You're just gonna complain about it, but you're not gonna do anything.
Yeah. Well, we've all had that. A guy or girl in some type of, like I said, like I mentioned, like some type of breakup, and you're like, but you texted them first. Well, yeah, but this is what they texted me, or they left me on red, but you texted them. Like,
right.
Can we stop doing this? Can we just stop doing it? And that's kind of what this is. It's a breakup of 2 people who were never really together.
Right.
So that's what gets annoying about it. And I think if I'm going to do that harsh on Fessy, I'm going to take his side and be like, he recognized it. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Already. Yeah.
Like, we were never really in an alliance. You and I maybe we're at a few conferences together or, autograph signings, but we never were relaxed. And she's like, oh, we were in an alliance. He's like, no, we weren't. And he's right.
Well, and realistically, I can't believe I'm about to say this. When he turned on her, whatever, last season, that was like right before the final.
Yeah.
He always wanted to be with Kaycee as a partner.
Yes.
I can't believe I just did that.
But that's what she can do. That's what editing can do. And if they want,
they're toying with me too.
If they want to, and then what? Then if it happens, if you're right, and it comes to fruition that he goes home, then she might turn around and they may give her an edit that whatever else. But hopefully, if they're smart, they'll continue to have her be the heel of the show because clearly, even if Esther is the one that's going, and we're clearly speculating right now, we don't know anything
for sure.
The seeds are planted that other girls are going to go, Amber's the bad one. So
yeah, it really is going that direction in a hurry. I just got to know, did Homegirl ever get her pizza?
It's a great question, too.
It's all about the pizza, man.
I think these are the things where I'm like, you should host the reunion.
Nelly should have been here you go, girl.
Yeah. Hey,
she was just hangry. She was hangry, man.
Like she wipes off her forehead, and when he's like, she's the ring man, wipes off the sweat, and he's like, gives her the pizza, and she's like, thanks, I need that. He's like, yeah, I know. I totally knew.
It's like, you're not you when you're angry.
That's a great question. I'm telling you, you should host the reunion. Yeah, that'd be great.
No, what was her name? Devin. She kills it. Yeah. She's great. Any last words for tonight's episode?
No. Thanks for an hour, MTV. I think they did a lot.
Oh, it was so good. I'm so excited for next week.
Yep. Love the cliffhanger in it. And I really like that you opened my eyes to that my brain is spinning about what is going to happen next week. Usually it's just like, I know what TJ's going to do. And we've seen so many of these, like, such going home. But I think you might be right. And now can't wait for next week even more.
And then he could also take like a really like weak stance and be like, "This is your only warning."
He really could, and then we're like, but
I hope not because I'm like hyped right now. Like something better happen.
If they take that stance, it's only going to happen again.
Right. Like and it was cut off right at the beginning. We did see more in a preview so there's going to be more physical with those two before it's fully broken up. So only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Well, fun episode. Great podcast. Great. Always great doing this with you.
Always great.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, Final Alliance on Instagram, Final Alliance Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe to us. And then on Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, we are Final Alliance Podcast.
Thanks to Skylark for having us here. We'll make sure to wear Skylark t-shirts when we go to the wedding.
Oh, yes.
To Kaycee and Nany's wedding. So we'll definitely represent them there when we're on the guest list.
I think Nany lived in Chicago for a while, so that's not too far.
Hey, I assume she'd be on the bride side. That's what it looked like. So,
I would be on the bride side.
I guess it'll be somewhere in Chicago.
They're both brides. What do you think?
What do you mean? But one's got to be on one side of the.
They could walk together.
But the guest, like the groom, is usually on if you walk into the right side.
So I would be on Nany's side.
She'd be on the left side. I'm sorry. And the two of them, one is a little bit more masculine than the other. So I would assume since it's the female side's where the wedding's going to be, it's going to be in Chicago, which we're close to. So we're going to. And we're wearing Skylark shirts. And we'll be at the wedding.
And we love them.
Yeah. So invite us to it. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everything else.
Bye,
This
guys.
has been fun.